Hello everyone, and welcome to the demo of the free-to-use Pentest Management Platform, AttackForge.com, for Black Hat Europe Arsenal 2021. My name's Phil, and I'm the co-creator of AttackForge.
And my name is Stas. I'm also a co-creator of AttackForge. AttackForge is a collaboration tool for security teams to run your pen tests. It provides an easy way to set up your pen test, record your vulnerabilities, and create custom reports for your customers. AttackForge is a trusted platform used by freelancers, consulting companies, and large corporations.
So today, Stas and I are going to show you how to run a pen test on AttackForge and how to create a custom report. To kick things off, Stas is going to walk you through setting up your project, defining your scope, inviting your project team, preparing your workspace for testing, working through your test cases and methodologies, adding and importing vulnerabilities, performing QA on those vulnerabilities, then exporting those vulnerabilities into JIRA, and lastly, creating attack chains, which will then map to MITRE's attack framework.
And after that, Phil is going to show you how to create a custom report, build advanced templates, including screenshots, captions, tables, and custom logic, how to create custom tags of fields for your reports, and the coolest feature in AttackForge. But you're going to have to wait to see what it is. Oh, and a reminder, we have a live chat session go, so please ask any questions. We're here to answer them. After you have logged in into AttackForge, you will see the dashboard. This dashboard provides you with information for all of your pen tests in AttackForge. From here, click on the project. Here is a list of all of your pen tests. If you want to create a new pen test, click Create New Project. Here, you can set up your pen test, define your scope, select your methodology, and invite your team. Let's look on existing project. The project dashboard provides a summary of your pen test. We can see information such as how many vulnerabilities we have and how testing is progressing. To see what needs to be tested, click on Scope. Here is a list of all assets, URLs, IPs, etc. you will need to test. Let's look on the project workspace. Before you start testing, you will need some information, usual logistics, such as test credentials for applications and systems, documentation for APIs, binaries, such as mobile app for mobile pen tests, building schematics for physical security assessment, and etc., etc. Here is all information we currently have on this project. We need some more test credentials from the development team. Let's invite them to the project. Here, from the dashboard, you can click on Menu and then click Manage Access to Project. Here we can see who already is on the project team. Let's click Invite User to Project. Here, we can enter as their email address and select them for our team. We have to confirm that we have permission to send them email. And because we're talking about developer, we'll give them upload and view access to the workspace. That would allow them to see what we find, but also let them upload documentation or binaries to the workspace. Give the role of the developer, confirm that we are not robot, and we invite them to the project. Quite often these days, you will need to show that you have followed a particular methodology for testing. For example, if you're performing a pen test for PCI DSS or HIPAA, or crash certified. Let's take a look on the test cases for this project. Here is all the test cases for this project. You can mark them for being tested, tested in progress, or not applicable. You can also add notes or upload files and evidence. If you want to register a new vulnerability for the pen test, click on Add Vulnerability. Here, you can select from existing vulnerability write-ups select affected assets, change other information, include steps to reproduce, notes, tags, and even link your vulnerability to one of the test cases. After that, you can save your vulnerability and upload evidence. Let's take a look at the vulnerability. Click on Vulnerabilities box on the dashboard. Here we have a list of all vulnerabilities discovered in this project. Let's take a look at the vulnerability. And again, we can see all the details related to this vulnerability. We can see the priority, the asset, likelihood of exploitation, description, attack scenario, recommendations, steps to reproduce. We can even have access to evidence and screenshots for the specific vulnerability. Remediation notes will capture all your remediation activities for this vulnerability. Review notes is where we can see the comments from QA process. Let's assume you're a pen tester who has been asked to review the vulnerability. To create a new QA comment, click on Create Review Note. Here you can choose a topic for review note. For example, it could be steps to reproduce, proof of concept. You can enter your actual note. For example, please add additional screenshots and click Create. The pen tester will receive an email notification to let them know. Then they can reply to your comment, and you will also receive an email notification when they do. Let's see how we can curate many vulnerabilities at one go. We're on dashboard. Let's click on vulnerabilities. And now let's select vulnerabilities we would like to QA. Go into menu, click Edit Vulnerability, edit multiple vulnerabilities. We add these 3 vulnerabilities to the list. Go back to menu and select Individually Update Selected Vulnerabilities. Now, the first vulnerability on our screen. We can review that. It seems to be okay. Nothing to update here. Let's look on the review notes. Let's respond to the latest review note. Click reply now. Node has been added. Let's move to the next vulnerability we review. Again, we have information. Review node says add more. Okay, we add more. We add another node. Is necessary information. And respond to the node. Now we click reply. Our node has been updated. Let's move to the next vulnerability. We look at this vulnerability. It seems to be nothing to change. We create a view node, confirming UA complete. We create a node. And click back to project. Let's import some vulnerabilities from Nessus. Click on Import Vulnerabilities. Here we see the list of all tools that AttackForge support for import vulnerabilities. We choose Tenable Nessus, select Nessus file, here we can see the list of vulnerabilities in that file. We can inspect them, make changes. We can update them for our custom library. This will then automate for us on the next import to save time and hassle of rewriting Nessus vulnerabilities every single time. Let's select the vulnerabilities we want to import. Let's import all critical and these high vulnerabilities. Let's click on Import Vulnerabilities now. We will see the status on the left, on the right bottom corner. 5 vulnerabilities imported, 2 skipped because they've previously been imported. AttackForge also allows you to export your vulnerabilities into a tool familiar to your developers. Let's press on Export, choose Atlassian JIRA. Here we need to add some details. Atlassian instance host, security token for the JIRA, project key to which vulnerabilities will be added, the type of our items that will be created in JIRA, and now we can choose vulnerabilities we would like to import. After that, I can click Export Vulnerabilities, and they will be exported into JIRA. And now it's the interesting capability of AttackForge, or attack chains. Attack chains is where you can demonstrate adversarial tactics you use to reach an objective. For example, if you're performing a red team assessment, you can show how you breach the perimeter or move laterally on the network. Or let's say your objective was to access sensitive database. Here you can show how you actually did it, chaining together all your steps and vulnerabilities. In this example, we can see how we install the schematics for the Batmobile, starting from the vulnerable web application. Let's go to attack chains. See, external attacker will self-register account on Bat portal, and it is mapped to MITRE attack framework tactics to align your attack vector with the real-world adversaries. Then we move to action, which is perform enumerations website, exploit vulnerabilities, which we had in a restricted upload to file with dangerous type, trigger shell, targets the server, gets a backdoor, flag capture. We own the server and we can find on it Batmobile schematics.
So let's take a look at reporting. AttackForge includes a tool we call ReportGen. This tool allows you to create custom reports using your own docx templates. If you don't want to create a custom template, you can use the existing reports which come in with AttackForge. These reports can be generated in PDF, docx, HTML, and CSV. You can also download a JSON export for the report. We're going to use this for our custom reports. Okay, let's now create a custom report using ReportGen. We're going to click on the ReportGen button here on the project dashboard. AttackForge ReportGen is easy to use. Creating templates requires no knowledge of complex programming languages. It's free to use and takes only minutes to create a custom report. AttackForge includes a set of standard templates which gives you something to start from. Those templates include an asset-based report, so you can see vulnerabilities by assets, an auditor or third-party report, which comes sanitized to remove sensitive data such as proof of concepts and screenshots, a report which focuses on critical and high vulnerabilities only, an executive report. We have an internal and external findings report. So this report has two sections, one for external findings, one for internal findings, and it's useful if you're doing an internal or external pen test. We have a comprehensive pen test report. This includes all the sections typically found in a pen test report. There's a retest report. This includes details for every round of retesting. We have a technical report. This is suited for developers, engineers, sysadmins, etc. We also have a testing progress report. This is suited for project managers. And we also have a web app and infrastructure report. So this is useful if you want to separate your web app vulns from the infrastructure vulns, all in one single report. For each template, you can download an example report which shows you what the report's going to look like. What we're going to do is to download the ReportGen tool. To do that, we're going to click on the Download ReportGen button. ReportGen is a self-contained HTML file. There's no need to install anything. Now we're going to pick a template we want to start working with. We recommend starting with the Pentest report template. To download the template, we're going to click on the button here, Template. And lastly, we're going to need some test data in order to test our custom report template. You can use the JSON export from your project that we mentioned earlier. We recommend using the test data file you can download from here. It has all the data you'll need. So now that we've downloaded the tool, a base template, and also the test data, let's start by customizing the template to create our custom report. I already have the template open, as well as the ReportGen tool. And here's all the JSON test data file. You can see it has a bunch of test data we're going to use to test out our template. So back on our template, let's start by changing the logo and the fonts. Now that we've made the changes, let's save our template and generate a report to see what it looks like. So over in the ReportGen tool, we're going to click on the button Select docx template. Now we're going to select the template we've just modified. Now we're going to give the tool some test data. We're going to select the JSON test data file that we downloaded. And now our report's being generated. Let's open it up and have a look. So we can see that the logo has been changed and the colors as well. And we can also see that the styles and fonts have changed. Looking at the rest of the report, we can see the exec summary section, testing summary, list of all the vulnerabilities, attack chains, and then the vulnerabilities themselves. You can use your own existing docx report that your company is already using. However, let's start with a blank docx file and set up our title page. We're going to go to the AttackForge support site to help us with this. You can access this by clicking the link in the ReportGen tool, or you can click on the help and info section within the application. Once you're on the support site, you'll see there's a bunch of detailed guides and walkthroughs on how to build your templates. We're going to go to the section available tags. Here we can see a list of all the data points or tags that we can use. There's hundreds of tags, meaning you can create as simple or as highly complex templates as you need. We're going to start by adding the project name and project code to the title page of our template. Here we can see that those tags. So we're placing those tags in our template, and now we're going to style them based on how we want them to look. Now let's save this template and see what the report looks like. So we're going to come into the ReportGen tool. Again, we're going to select our template, and now we're going to give it some test data. And let's take a look at what that report looks like. So now we can see the project code and the project name, as well as the test window and progress complete. Now let's include a list of all the vulnerabilities, as well as their descriptions and recommendations. So back from the support site, we can see a parent level tag called vulnerabilities. This tag contains all of the data for all the vulnerabilities on this pen test. This tag is a list or an array of vulnerabilities, and we know that because it has a hashtag symbol at the start of the tag. So what we're going to do, we're going to loop through all the vulnerabilities in this list and print the title, description, recommendation, as well as priority. So back from our template, we're going to insert a new page, and we're going to start by adding the tag vulnerabilities. Now, because this one is a list or an array, that means we're looping, so we have to close this loop. So to do that, we can use the backslash and then vulnerabilities. So now that we're looping through vulnerabilities, we want to add the priority and the title. We'll make that bold and increase the size. Then under that, we want the description and recommendation. So we're going to place those tags in as well. And we'll make that a bit smaller. And then after it goes through each vulnerability and adds the priority, title, description, and recommendation, we're going to add a page break. So that way all the vulnerabilities are on separate pages. So let's see what this template looks like. So we're going to come back to the ReportGen tool. Again, we're going to select the template, select the JSON file, and see that our report's downloaded. Let's open it up. So we can see here now the first vulnerability, and we have the description and recommendation, and now we have the second vulnerability and so forth. Yes, ReportGen does support screenshots as well as captions. Here in AttackForge, we can see we've uploaded a screenshot and also assigned it with a caption. How do we access that in ReportGen? We can see here on the support site that within the steps to reproduce or proof of concept, we can add a tag with % sign inline screenshot. And then when we look at a sample report, we can see we'll automatically include the screenshot as well as the caption under it. Yes, ReportGen does support tables. So here we can see we've created a table which is going to give us the priority, title, and remediation status for every vulnerability in this pen test. We've done that by creating a table in Word and then opening up a loop for every vulnerability, and then within that loop, inside this row, including priority, title, and remediation status. How that looks is as follows. We can see that we have a full table with every single vulnerability, including its remediation status. Yes, you can add custom logic using ReportGen. So here we have some conditions we've created where we can see priority is equal to critical. And what that's going to do is print the priority in a maroon color. And then we're going to close off that condition. So here we've opened up another condition where priority is equal to high. And again, if that condition's met, then the priority will be printed in red, and we're going to close off that condition as well. So how that actually looks when we generate the report is like this. So here we can see we've got a table where the priority has been color coded based on what the rules are that we've set up in the template. And the same thing goes for the resolution or remediation status. AttackForge ReportGen supports different conditions and filters. You can have equals, and, or, greater than, and less than conditions in your templates to help you build more complex and advanced templates depending on the data that you need. ReportGen also has filters which can help you to access the exact information that you need. For example, we have filter by, includes, as well as excludes. You can store data for later use. We have a find, unique, count, as well as others. You can create custom tags or fields in ReportGen. AttackForge allows you to set these custom fields or tags at 3 different levels: at the project level, at the vulnerability library level, or your write-up, or at the affected asset level, and that's the actual vulnerability on the project itself. The support side details how to set custom tags at each different level. So for example, here at a project level, we can capture the additional information such as client name, address, testing location, and others. And how we reference that in our report, we can see as follows. And when the report gets output, based on the template above, we can see that we have the customer's name and address. The coolest feature about AttackForge would definitely have to be the themes that you can adapt to your mood. Prefer a dark mode? We've got that. Looking for something a bit more hardcore? Try entering the matrix. You can pick and choose from 14 different themes, with new ones arriving frequently. So let's recap today's introduction into AttackForge.com. We set up our project scope. We got ready for testing using the project workspace. We invited people to the project team. We looked at test cases and the methodologies we used for testing. We created vulnerabilities and also imported them. We did QA on those vulnerabilities. And we also looked at attack chains and how they could be used to help pen testers show their adversarial tactics. And then lastly, we developed a reporting template and created custom reports using ReportGen.
Oh, if you haven't fallen asleep by now, we would love to hear your questions and feedback in the chat. Thanks again for watching.